Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus here again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. I want to thank you so very much for stopping on this post, and I hope it is worth your while. First of all, I'd like to say thanks to all of the wonderful citizens here in America who are expressing their generosity and their love for those who are in need. Many of them are known as first responders, and yet they are those who are feeding those who are without food, giving them grocery to take home, feeding in soup lines, making sure that if you need to have something to eat, if you need some of your survival nest, come by here. We got something for you. And it's a wonderful thing. And I want to take time to say thank all of you for your kindness, your generosity, and your love in behalf of those who have received it. At the same time, I'd like to also remind you that the kind of love that I just expressed and thank you for is the same kind of love and action that evil thanks you for as well. Now, evil thanks you for that type of action because it doesn't do anything to end evil. In other words, it takes some of the burden off evil because you're there helping it out. Now, many of you perhaps have never thought of that, and it's not to be an indictment. However, it is the truth. All evil needs, in order to succeed, is for good people who do nothing. Now, when we talk about evil to me, I don't know what it means to you, is when it's injustice, it's ugliness, it's expressed in lies, and it's rotten, it stinks. Evil is causing pain and suffering to others. Evil is death. Many times it's expressed in what we might want to say people who possess this kind of evilness to the extent that they want to conquer you and rule you. My. Now, I think maybe one of the most descriptive ways I could talk about evil is when George Floyd was murdered in Minneapolis, Minnesota. To me, the way he was murdered, with this cops, which represent power, the military power, the real force behind the power, which is his color, white, which represents the white power structure and what the white power structure is willing to do to maintain its power here in America. It was all right there before us. That's what I saw. And then I feel that everybody saw it that way, or they saw it enough to get involved. Not only that, people all across the world will say, we sympathize, empathize, we love you. But they will also say they experience the same kinds of things. That's another thing that they were saying. We are brothers in this. We all have to fight this. We got to do something about this. You are Americans. We are looking perhaps for your leadership. What can we do? Well, that represented, my friend, how that white power structure works. And we have in the United States of America a president. Now, in most of our lifetimes, we've never seen a president that exhibited as much evil on top of the sea as this man right here. Now, that doesn't mean he was the only one that's evil. No, not by a long shot. But he's so evil till other evils are afraid of him. He says, jump, they say, how high? Did you see the United States Senate? The conservatives? Did you see how high they're willing to jump? Did you see the attorney generals throughout all of these states that's standing up with this evil. They know what he's done. They know exactly what he's done. They know he represents evil. But they, my friends, find themselves glued to this evil. They just cannot turn it loose. Hey, that's the way evil works. Divide, come in, talk about bigot stuff. Look at him. White and black. Black no good, white is everything. He going around the country on those blacks that's on the federal death row, making sure they die before he get out of here. Because he really has no plan to get out of here. He's trying everything. He told you he was trying everything he could to stay in office. He told you he was stacking the courts for this reason. He told you he was stacking the Supreme Court for that reason. And the Senate says, yes, sir, we're going to help you do it. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you're wondering, is this evil going to take us over? Knock democracy in the head. Who's standing up to him? Who, my friends? The law, which you say is supreme, hasn't stood up to him. He walked all over the law. This is evil. This is the power of evil. And this is the worst we've ever experienced in this country. Donald Trump is in office for that reason. He didn't just walk in there. How did he come here? It's because you, the American people, have housed that evil within yourselves. You came and you taught it. You learned it. And it's inside of you. And you pass laws here and there trying to hold somebody to doing something under the law. But deep down in their hearts, in their spirits, they are really evil. Because this is not the way to deal with evil. You can't deal with evil with a law. You can't deal with evil by putting people in jail. You can't deal with evil that way. No, my friends, evil is lost. Evil is you're lost. And if you want to get evil, you got to love. You got to love, because evil knows evil. Let me tell you something. I told you when I first came on the scene that I knew evil quite well. I never told you I was an outstanding person. I've been a donkey. I've been a whatever you want to call me to be ever since I was on the earth. That's why I never expected to live long. But it was in that evilness that something happened to me. Ooh, man, I experienced something that changed me to let me know that there is a power, the most, and you can't see it. It's not white, black, man, woman, gay, straight. You can't see it. But the evidence, look, here, taste, smell, that's the evidence. All that exists is the evidence. I know that. So I don't have to bend to no man, neither do you. That's what I want you to know. That spirit that you can't see live in you. And how do you do that? Oh, let me tell you that. Well, let me see. That might be a couple more things I want to share with you before I tell you that. Well, so it is the way the American people are, housing that stuff inside of them, never getting it out, never freely turning things loose, because they didn't know what it was. They couldn't do what they couldn't do. No one was telling them what needed to be done. They been told that what they're looking for happens after they die, if they don't rock the boat here. My. And so all of these years, that stuff is festered. And when this evil one who was primed and prepped, no, I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, this guy didn't just happen. This guy didn't just happen. This boy was brought up to be the representative of this evil. That's why he's gotten away with everything, so he can know who he owe allegiance to. Evil, he owe allegiance to evil. And that's why he's trusted in evil to see him through. Evil got him here on the throne in America. He walked in and evil said, here in America was so glad to see him. It's freedom. Now they can come out from under those beds, hiding like they were decent people. They could come out and let ugliness show. And that's what they did. So, America, that fakeness, that pretentious stuff, laws and jails and fines and fees didn't change a thing. It set you up for a time such as Trump. And now, he wants to take you down. He wants to take you down. And many of you might say, well, how did he really maneuver other than just divide? How did he really maneuver? I want to say this before I get off that part of it. It was all done by the manipulation of money. Money, ladies and gentlemen. Money, everything you need, want, desire, and all of the other in America and all on the globe today, in order to achieve it or get it, you need money. Now, I want you to know, they set this up. They set it up so everybody across the globe, in order to exchange, you need some money. So it was kind of easy for them to manipulate this man and bring him up, just as he's manipulated the world's people to be absent of the things that really matter. That's why we are here. This thing is not just happening, ladies and gentlemen. This is all planned. I want you to know that it's all planned. Now, I want you to know, you hear people talking about, again, back to those who I was complimenting in the beginning. There are many others out here, guys who got a lot of position in society. Many of them are athletes and actors, entertainers of some sort or another. And they got a lot of money, and now they're standing up and saying that they themselves want to fight the cause. And they want to direct funds, and they want to do this to help out. And that adds right on in with those guys who I complimented earlier. And I want to compliment these guys in that same group. I want to compliment you in that same group. But I also want to tie you to that same group when I say that the system is saying that's okay. That's okay. Be good to your people. Help them do this. Help them to do that. But the system is constantly messing over them. The system is constantly messing over them. And when you pass a law like affirmative action that takes some punishment from cause punishment somewhere else, and allow that to be some freedom for those who've been beaten down, but at the same time what you're doing is creating some suffering someplace else. No, you have to get rid of the whole thing. You have to get rid of the whole thing. Now, I know that these guys mean well, but the truth of the matter is, since we know that the way the system operates, the way it keeps us bound, the way it keeps us connected, the way it keeps us in chains, allows many of us who are successful and have it, when I mean successful, got a lot of money, who can do some things that we want to do and feel good when we help you who don't have anything. But when push comes to shove, will we give up our money for you? That's the $6,400 question. Because in order for you to have the kinds of things that everybody wants, you have to give up the money. Why? The money is a tool of evil. Now, what I said, when you're evil, that represents being lost. Now, if I'm going to tell you that you're lost, what good is the message that I bring to you if I can't tell you how to be saved? If I can't tell you how to get up. I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, how to get up. You see, I tell you what, rather than tell you right here, I'm doing a book, I'm putting it on YouTube, and I'm putting it on Facebook. It's entitled The Final Chapter. And it really goes to a little deeper into what I want to share with you here. And I really would hope that you have enough interest to check it out. Facebook and YouTube, The Final Chapter. Well, what I wanted to say, ladies and gentlemen, is earlier when I said about the power, the only power that's over it all, that everyone should be having allegiance to. The one that everyone should be loyal to. We can't see it. But to have loyalty with it is to allow it to live. I mean, it's calling you. Let me live in you. Goodness. Let me tell you what makes it so good. This love representation, my friends, is not just for your significant other. It's not just for your family. It's not just for your gender and your community. It's for every human being alive, though you have never seen them and will never see them. But if you ever hear of their suffering, you cannot sleep at night until the world is shaken and that suffering is dissipated. You see, that's what love is. And when you feel that, when you are like that, who are you in bondage to? You are not in bondage to anyone. You are free to serve everyone. And what is your service? Your service is being who you came on this earth to be, because that's all you were meant to be. And in so doing, you create enough goods and services, food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, careers of your own choosing, that the abundance is such that no one, especially in America, and when the principles are revealed upon the hill, the world have to grab it, because the people then will settle for nothing else. Why? Because the light is finally shone, and now they can see. This is what I'm talking to you about, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I've been doing for 40 years. And I want you to know that I, over these 40 years, have learned a lot. I thought initially that when I got this information, that I was supposed to bring it to you, I thought the whole church, the whole Christian community would be so happy. I thought this is what this God that they teach about, talk about, was all about. And they was just waiting for the opportunity to shine. I mean, to really shine. Well, but I guess I came from such a strange place till they couldn't see that. And that's okay. I understand. Nobody told me that they would. I just thought they would. And I figured all good people, especially the people that suffer, the people who can't pay their bills, the people who got no job, the people who lied, who out there stealing because they don't have anything else, people who out there violating, selling drugs, which is illegal and stuff like that, just to make some money, prostituting, gigolo, and just to get over and get by. Hey, I thought they would be so glad but boy, 40 years passed, and here I'm standing here today telling you this. And you know, I'm still alone. But in the midst of this hell, which is what I call lost, in the midst of it, standing here, all of us together, I'm asking and inviting you to walk out of this hell. You see what's going on with the system. You see, they are making it known. When Trump came on representing this evil that they already represented, they all got up. They are still getting up. They are ready to kill for him. They are ready to die for this evil. Even the fundamentalists and evangelical, right-wing Christian conservatives. Oh, they willing to die. So the Jesus that they taught about, they hung him up on the cross again. And Trump is now their new master. And they are going to it. So those of you who are serving the soup, those of you who are making sandwiches, those of you who are opening doors, allowing them to come into your homes, get them off the streets. Those of you who are advocating, protesting in the streets for them. You are being called to represent love, to come out and stand up for love. Now, what are you doing when you stand up? You're saying that no more suffering. Those things that we can fix, we're going to fix by the power of what is right. And we're not going to let evil keep on walking over people anymore. Why? Because our eyes open. I'm asking those of you who are on social media criticizing Trump. I'm asking those of you who doing all of that stuff because you're mad as hell. I'm asking you to get up off that being mad and try love. Try love for a moment. I know you're angry, but forget the anger. You can't do nothing with anger no more. Anger is a hang-up. Get free. Look at it like this. All of that ugliness that you see in the world, and even what your dreams and aspirations have been up to this point, it's been designed based upon where you've been indoctrinated at and by. But now change that around. Change that around. In the midst of this right here, make up your mind that you are going to reject this hell. And that you are going to see everybody as you see yourself. And you're going to be who you are. Now, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. You will find this is the most simple form, the easiest form for socialization is to honor God, loving yourself. That's how you determine how much love you can give to somebody else. And at the same time, having that same love for everybody else. You ain't got nothing to lose. You got nothing to lose. And evil, my friends, as evil as it is It takes love like that, much, much even stronger love, to save them. Because if you, my friends, were not blessed here, you would be right there. And you would hope that someone would save you. I want to thank you. Please, if you get the opportunity, The Final Chapter by Eddie Marcus, Facebook and YouTube. Goodbye.